Hey guys, welcome back to another crochet diary. Today's video features all of the WIPs I have on hand. This was a video that was asked for from my YouTube members, my Plushie Pals, so shout out to you guys. That's why this video is happening. So sorry ahead of time if the lighting isn't great. I don't really have much daylight to work with. I'm surrounded by lights right now. So let's get started. First up is my most recent WIP I wanted to have done by today. Today is New Year's Eve, and I wanted this done, but I always knew there was a chance it wasn't going to be, and that's okay. That's life, but it'll be done eventually. It is this little blue cardigan, and the pattern is by MJ's Off the Hook. And you can see all I really need to do is finish a sleeve, add a sleeve, and then do the inside ribbing. But yeah, that's all I have left for that. So I'm hoping I can get that done ASAP. I was really enjoying working on it, and then all of a sudden I started getting burnt out, and I think it's because I had the goal of it being done by New Year's, and it's not. So now I'm just like, But I want to get it done because I know I'm going to enjoy it once it is done. So next is another somewhat recent WIP. I don't honestly know how long I've been working on this, but it is another wearable, and it is a top. This is on YouTube. I don't know whose channel it is right now without looking. All I know is it's saved to my watch later playlist. So this is the top. I'm still working on making it wider. This is just one side, so it is a little bit of a crop top, as you can see. I'm making it with cotton yarn. I know it's one of the sugar wheels from Hobby Lobby, and it's just a plain like burgundy wine color. I don't know the colorway. I do have another one. I've got to finish this side, then I start the other panel for the other side, and then I just seam it up the middle and down the sides, and it's done. Will I ever get through this? I hope so. I'm kind of starting to wonder if I should have made my starting chain longer, because it seems very cropped. My other option would be to add a little bit of length once I'm done, once I've got everything seamed together. I don't know. WIP number 3 is another top that I kept seeing on Pinterest for the longest time. There wasn't a pattern, it was just photos. But it is made with granny squares. So I'm making 2 granny squares in the front. I need to make this one a little bit bigger because I want it to come down more. I'm also going to add either some kind of ribbing or other detailing along the bottom once I have all my granny squares made. So I need 3 more once I'm done with this. This is something I've been working on during my live stream. It is just the Trinity stitch, and I'm making a panel to make a little purse for my niece. I made this up. There is no pattern. I will eventually write one though. And then I've got a scarf going on. This is the scarf. It's made with, I don't know what it is. It is a worsted weight, but it's one of those like silkier ones. Also from Hobby Lobby, the majority of my yarn is. This is a gift for somebody. My next WIP is a little tote bag I made. And this is with, what stitch is this? I can't remember right now, but I am going to make a pattern video for this bag. And all I have to do is make the straps. So the bag portion is done. I'm working on the straps, and I'm doing a thermal stitch for them. I'm debating lining it. I think that I should, just to give it a little bit more structure, but that's the bag, and it's purple because purple is my favorite color. Next WIP is another pattern by me. I don't have it written or a video yet. I am working on a video, but I started the video a long time ago, and I just haven't really worked on this bag. I don't really have a reason why. It's just one of those things that kind of fell into the back of my mind. It's like out of sight, out of mind kind of. It is another tote bag, and I'm making it with cotton yarn. It's, I believe, functional cotton at Hobby Lobby. I've got 4 different colors going on, and it is checkered. I did already make this bag for my sister. She's the reason this is even in existence, so I was thinking about naming it after her. So it'd be like Sadie's bag or something like that. Here's a picture of her wearing hers. and she loves it. Apparently she uses it all the time, which I'm glad because I put all of my love into that thing. I did line hers, and yeah, so I'm working on that one. So next up is this cow blanket, also a pattern by me. If you like the blanket, you can purchase the pattern in my Etsy shop, and I'll put that link in the description, as well as a picture here so you can see what it looks like when it is actually done. This is where I'm at. This one seems bigger than the first one I made, so I might have used a bigger hook. I'm not sure because the yarn is the same. But that's my cow. He's getting there. I need to finish him, so maybe I'll save my WIPs for like members' lives or something. I don't know. Moving on. So up next I have a mermaid tail, and you can see the tail is done. I have a few of these in my Etsy shop. I think I've sold one or two. There's a few more for sale on there. This one I'm calling a WIP, but I am going to frog it because I'm kind of over the whole mermaid tail thing. I don't know if I should just put this for sale on my Etsy and then whoever buys it can figure out a top on their own, because I grew out of the enjoyment of making the mermaid tails. So I don't know if I'm going to frog this or what. These take a long time to make because this is like, I think it's called the crocodile stitch, and just the way it's worked up takes quite a while. So there is a lot of hours just in this little tail alone. And it's not the nicest feeling yarn. Like, I know this is Red Heart, and I don't love Red Heart, but I originally used Red Heart when I first started crocheting. So that's how old this tail is. It's probably like 8 years old. I've been crocheting longer than that. So I think I'm going to frog this, but let me know what you think in the comments. What would you do? Next is, this is going to get frogged because I don't remember what hook I used and I'm completely out of the yarn. And I think I'll wait until the middle of the year to ever start this again. But it was going to be a Christmas blanket. So it was going to have, I think these were trees. And then there's another row of like ornaments or something, and it's just green, white, and red all the way throughout. It was a graph I found on Pinterest, I believe. I'm not sure. I'd have to look around to see if I can even find it again. Like I said, I have no idea what hook I used. So I will be frogging this and just turning this into some kind of scrap yarn. Another project that I am going to frog. This is a panel, the back panel of a sweater that I had started. I was using a weight 3 yarn and I was doing it with 3 strands. I got this far and decided I don't want to do it anymore. So I am going to frog it, and I was thinking about using this yarn to make a pair of socks because I just found a tutorial that uses this weight yarn for a pair of socks. Next up is a book sleeve, which I am going to frog because it's doing this. I also didn't make it big enough, and I didn't realize until I got this far how small it actually was. So I'm going to frog it. I'll probably start a new one. I do like these colors together. But if you're looking for a book sleeve, you can check out my Etsy shop because there are a few in there. Next up is a monster. I'm going to stand up for this one. So I've got this blanket, and you can see that it is, whoops, sorry, I'm trying to show the whole thing so you can see the actual size. And I debated frogging this. And I know some of you are going to think, you're crazy. Why would you do that? And that's just because, I don't know, it's not done. But then I was thinking, this is long enough to be a blanket, of course. So I was like, should I just slap a border on this thing? Slap a border on it. This is a free pattern, and it's like every row or few rows is a totally different stitch, which was very fun because you get to work so many different stitches into this blanket. I started it for a friend, and then I decided I didn't like the colors I chose for the blanket. I'm thinking about just putting a border on it and calling it a day. So let me know what you think. I'm always second guessing things. So if you guys are like, yeah, do it, then I'll probably do it. If you guys are like, no, frog it, I'll frog it. It'll just probably sit around for a very long time before I do that, because can you think of all the little scrap balls that are going to come out of this blanket? That's my thought. That's on to more stuff. So, oh my gosh, I just found my hook I was looking for. Oh, I'm so glad I did this. I have been looking for this hook for at least a month, and I did not know where it was, and I never usually put my hooks with my WIPs. I just keep a note in my phone of what hook goes to what project, because if I leave my hook with it, like I said, I lose it. So I am so glad to see you. This just made my day. Next up is, this is like a doily, mandala, whatever you want to call it, and it's a WIP because I have all these ends to weave in. So that'll be something quick and easy to do. Next up is a little, it's going to be a sweater, like a pullover. So this is the start of it, so you can see. I want it to be somewhat oversized. It's weird colors because if I ever finish it, you'll find out why, and some of you may know and some of you may not know. But for now, it's a secret as to why I chose these colors. These are not the only colors going into it, but they are important colors. Next up is this. I don't know what this was supposed to be, probably a plushie, but it's in here, and I don't know how it ended up in here, but I'm going to frog that and just add it to my plushie yarn. I've shown this one time, and it was on a live stream because I didn't want to show it for the longest time. I'm weird like that. I like to keep things hidden and then be like, bam, look what I made. If you know, you know. It is the Truly logo, and I'm making a bar mat with it, so it'll be a little bar mat. I made this pattern using stitch fiddle. All I've got to do left is a few rows of black, the word Truly, and then I'm basically done, and all these fun ends to weave in. So that I will work on at some point. Next up is, this is basically done, and somebody gave me the idea when I showed it on a live, but it was going to be a pillowcase. Then I decided I don't really want it to be a pillowcase anymore. I don't want to make a whole nother panel for the back. Like, I don't. But I have these holes through it because it was going to like button onto the pillow. And somebody said, make it a wall panel. So I could stick a wooden dowel through it and then just hang it up. I'll just have to like make some kind of edging. Next up is this. Guy's aunt gave me a bunch of yarn, and it is this soft and shiny loops and threads yarn, and in my preference, I don't typically buy this yarn. I feel like it's very frizzy after a while, which it kind of is. You can kind of see what I mean, like it's fuzzy-ish, just the little fibers. I don't know how to describe what I want to say. I'll just find something else to do with it. Maybe I'll make something for her with the yarn. Maybe I'll still make a blanket. I don't know. Next is this blanket, which has been a WIP for, I don't know, 5 or so years. It's a snowman. And it's kind of like the cow blanket, how it's like a pixel blanket. I'm doing corner to corner. I'm doing mini corner to corner, so half double crochet. And the reason it is a WIP is because I ran out of this blue yarn. They don't make this color anymore. So when I went to buy it, I was like, come on, guys. So my thought recently was just use a different blue, because I really don't want to frog this. I think this thing is so cute. It's so cozy and soft, and I think it would just be fun to finish. Riley really likes snowmen. I would be finishing this in memory of him. Let me know what you think of that as well. We're almost done. What else? What else? This is all just other things, like things I'm gonna frog. I made a pot holder. This was like when I first started crocheting, which I didn't know you can't use acrylic yarn for pot holders, so I need to frog this. It's with acrylic yarn. You're supposed to use cotton. Oh, and here I have just a bunch of scrunchies I made, but never like tied off and all of that. There are many. And I was thinking I could use these as little goodies for giveaways or to add to my Etsy orders, because I always like to include a little extra something because I think that's fun. So I have a lot of those that I need to tie off, and that's something I could do during a live too, because it doesn't take much brain power. They're already crocheted. I just have all of these ends. This is like the bottom of a bralette that I never finished. I'll probably just frog this. And then a lot of the stuff in here isn't WIPs, but it's things I'm thinking of frogging because when I made them, they just didn't come out to my expectation, or I'm not happy with the end product. But I have the first bralette I ever made. It is really cute. I might frog it. Another of the first bralettes I ever made. These are coasters, Halloween themed. I don't know if I want to frog these or send them to somebody. Look at that, another bralette. I have these, which I made on my knitting machine, and they are complete, so I don't know why they're in here. Maybe I'll send them to my mom. That's a good idea. Okay, well, that is all of my WIPs. For some reason, I thought there was something else over here, but there's not. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can thank my Plushie Pals. It was their idea. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you somewhere else on my channel. Bye. Somehow I forgot to mention the most important WIP of them all, and that would be my blanket. It's the blanket I'm working on with all of you, where you choose the color of each row. I think this is my most favorite WIP and probably one of my most favorite projects that I've done or am working on. I think I'm about 75% of the way done with it now. I want the blanket to be about 6 feet long, and we're almost there. You can see that in one of my most recent updates, that it's almost as tall as me now. I just wanted to add that little tidbit. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.